Yo, what's going on, guys? Dark Monster here, and today we're going to be talking about Conan Exiles. Now, this is a game that I've been getting into recently in the last couple months, and in that time I've put in probably about 240 hours, and I've become a little bit obsessed. But that being said, what I wanted to do today is to make a new player guide to getting started. This episode we're going to cover things like what to do right when you spawn in and give you the bare minimum basics on how to get started on things. We're going to keep this short and brief, and we're not going to be all encompassing at all in this episode, but we're going to focus on individual things throughout the series. So this very first one is basically what to do on spawn, and getting into it, we're not going to choose play online, even though I do have a server that I play on with friends. And it's mostly when I play out on, when I stream this on Twitch, I play on that server. You can catch me out at Dark Monster on twitch.tv. But we're going to go to single player. We're going to go to new game, single player. And you have the difficulty settings you can choose from. Civilized is the super baby easy mode that if you really want to have your handheld, you can. But it's not really necessary. Things do less damage, you get more experience of things, you don't need to eat and drink as much, but the most important thing is that you do not drop your items on death. That's really important for like speedrunners and things like that. And you do not get a purge. The purge is a basically random event where a faction will attack your base, and it's kind of stressful, it's kind of difficult sometimes it's really easy, but it also tends to yield a lot of good rewards, especially depending on what faction it is that's attacking you. So I don't personally play on Civilized. Decadent is the default. This one you will drop everything when you die and the purge will attack. And then Barbaric is one that I've never had a reason to play on. Things hit harder and are harder to kill. You don't gain as much experience from things, and you don't get as much resources, and that's pretty much the only differences between that and Decadent. The other option is that you can also customize your own stuff, because they treat single player like a server. So your progression, if you want more XP faster, or if you want to up the day-night cycle, or change it. I like to make it so that nighttime goes fast and daytime goes slow, because nighttime sucks. It's all dark and you can't see a goddamn thing. Little things like harvesting make it so that your food doesn't spoil as often, or you get more from harvesting resources. I don't really mess with that. Crafting, up your craft speed, make it so that thralls craft faster, things like that. It's all up to you. It's your game, it's your server, you do what you want. Basically, single player is the server in this, but none of that really matters. For this demonstration, we're going to go on to Decadent, the normal, and we're going to hit play, and we're going to overwrite, because I can always make a new file, and I have my backups as well. So when we do this, we're going to get to character creation. Now you can make yours however you want, doesn't matter. There's only one option here that makes any real gameplay difference. So if I go ahead here and we look at the options for religion. Now religion is basically what you start with, not the only religion you're committed to. You can learn literally all of the religions except for maybe one that I don't know about you learning throughout the map. This is just the one that you start with. So you get things for basically, so what this does is it gives you the ability to build a altar to whatever god that you choose, and by giving resources that it wants to the altar, you get things in return like healing, poisons, various other handy things. Right now, the newest one is Zath, and you can even get some spiders and stuff from it. It's all spidery, it even looks spidery, and I fucking hate it because I don't like spiders. Freaks me out, man. But I also don't know where to find this on the Exiled lands map, which is the default map, to be honest with you. So this is one that is quite powerful from what I've seen, and I'm not sure exactly where to get it. So if I wasn't basically fucked up from spiders, I would choose this. Crom is one of the only ones I don't think you can learn, and he literally does nothing. Jack shit. Doesn't do a goddamn thing for you. Do not pray to Crom, for he does not listen. But the other ones are all handy. For the purpose of this video, we're just gonna choose Crom because it's easy and I like it. And then we're gonna hit finalize. Durka and Stygian, doesn't matter, all these are random. We're gonna hit confirm, and we're gonna be greeted with a cutscene that I'm gonna skip through because you can watch it on your time. You don't need me to watch it through you. You don't need to watch it through me. So we get spawn here. Welcome to the Exiled lands. If we hit the map key, you spawn here at the Broken Highway. We're gonna get the moniker for that in a moment, and we're gonna walk our way along this road forward and head to this area, which is affectionately called Noob River. There you're gonna find a lot of different places. For this being your first playthrough, I would highly recommend starting somewhere along this river. If you're a veteran player, you could start up in the highlands. You can go to Sepamuru, you can go into the jungle. There's all sorts of places, but for your first playthrough, I recommend the river. That's the easiest way to get access to a lot of early game resources. In order to get mid to late game resources, you will need to expand quite a bit further out, but when you're just first learning the game, you don't need to worry about that. So we spawn here naked as a jaybird, and if we come over here, you'll see some things like little rocks on the ground, bushes. If you hit your interact key, you will collect resources from the bushes. You get roughly about 3 per bush. And you get plant fiber, bugs, and seeds. You can go up to this thing and read it, but it's going to have a voiceover that's really loud and obnoxious. So for the purpose of this video, I won't do it, so that it doesn't really talk over me too much. But you can also jump. You can hold the jump key to climb, and then when moving, I always hold the jump key, so that if you hit a surface where you would normally pop off, they will hold on, and you can climb all around in all sorts of crazy angles. And then if you want to get down, you can hit your crouch key to let go, and then hold your jump key to slide down the side. Sorry. It's very, very handy to learn how to parkour like that properly, because you can get around the map very, very quickly and very efficiently and not have to worry about designated paths. So we're going to collect all this because you can never have enough plant fiber. Now the most important thing is that the stone will tell you follow the road, all roads lead to the city. But the important part is that rock right there, you always spawn right next to that tablet and you walk this way, you'll see this rock. This always has this little note. You can use this to get the same thing as touching that and talking to it, but this one's quieter, so I'll choose it. You get your little milestone, and then you get this right here. It doesn't tell you to press the button on it, but you can totally press the button. You get a water skin, and this is how you're going to be able to drink while out and about. And there's also going to be little rocks around. You can pick those up. It doesn't tell you to do it, but you can do it. Nothing to it but to do it. And let's go in here. Boom, 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 boom. Get lots of rocks. We're gonna get branches up ahead too. Now we have a bug in our inventory. We're gonna hit one. You're gonna eat it. You're gonna see journey step completed. Now normally, somewhere around like here on your screen, you're gonna see the journey steps. I have that setting turned off because I've already played the game enough. I know pretty much all the journey steps I need to know. They're a nice early game guide to like, what should I do now? Until they're not. Sometimes they start giving you some stuff where you're like, man, I don't know about all that. But they're very handy because the journey steps give you a boost in XP. Now, what does XP get you? You see we're level 2 here. You get attribute points. Attribute points can be put into different stats. Strength to hit harder. Agility to give you better armor values and make you dodge better. Vitality for health. Accuracy for bow damage, and maybe even throwing weapons. I haven't really messed with that at all. Yep, there you go, throwing. Grit for stamina, encumbrance for weight, and survival gives you some nice handy little perks. And it also makes it so that the actual stat itself is how well food satiates you, how much hunger basically it restores. But for now, we're not going to worry about this. You can put a point in to get a level, and at some point the cost of points goes up per level, and it every 10 levels you get a perk. So for a good example is agility. At level 10 you get iron endurance, where sprinting drains less stamina. That's really handy. Most people just focus on encumbrance early. At some point you can reset all these and get them back and redistribute them how you want. So don't be crazy super into it. Like, I chose survival to get this one so that I don't have to worry about cooking my food, because I didn't know much about the game. So I said, that sounds handy. And then I later got rid of it. Very similar with feats. Feats are how you learn how to do things. As you level, you get some feat points. The Cornerstones page here shows you a little bit of some of the things you can do. The religions, the armors, the weapons, little survival things. But this does not tell you hardly anything. Now, if we hit here, you'll see a lot more. Ignore a lot of these things, like the salvager stuff, all the flotsam, flotsam, whatever you want to call it, buildings, and then all these ones with the different little color icons on them and everything. That's all DLC. I'm not going to expect everybody to have all the DLCs like I do. So this is the one you would need to do to build something like a home, but you need at least level 3. Decoration, not super important. Survival is probably one of the most important ones, but there's not really much we can get. We can get a box, we will unlock that, get another journey step. All of a sudden we're level 3, got another journey feat point from that. And you can see weapons, you can see different things you can choose, and we will worry about all those later. For now, we're going to go forward, we're going to sprint and keep an eye on our stats there to make sure we don't run out of stamina, because fully running out of stamina makes it so that it regenerates much slower. And we're going to continue picking up rocks when we can. And I believe there should be a branch right over here. Yes, there is. Grab that. Thank you. Grab another one. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Now, eventually you won't have to be picking up resources off the ground anymore. You'll be much past that. But for now, that's the easiest way to get things early on. We're going to keep grabbing things, especially these branches. We're going to come here. Oh no, it's a monster. Ah, spooky. Okay, anyway, so we're gonna grab all this plant fiber, because you can never have enough plant fiber. And there we go. And we're getting thirsty, so we're gonna take a drink. I always put my water skin in that last slot. That's just my personal preference. You can not have it on your hotbar, you can have it on your hotbar, do what you want. But we're gonna continue here. You see we spawned at the broken highway, and we're just following this path. We're gonna follow it up to the river here and collect some things along the way. And I'm going to turn on auto run so that we can start heading there and get some things done. So we open the inventory, you can see our crafting. I'm going to start making things like our clothes. Oop, queue up the crafting on that. Even make healing, which is our rough wraps. And we can't make this because we don't have the resources for it. What we can make is this stone hatchet. So what you get with the tools that you can craft is you can make this cleaver, which is good for getting lots more meat out of the things you harvest. Stone hatchet can harvest stone, can have a harvest trees, but it effectively gets wood better than anything else and gets less of other things. The pickaxe is great for getting stone, and the skinning knife is obviously good for getting stone skins. You need more stone and more branches. In order to get more branches efficiently, we chose the axe, the hatchet I should say, so that we could chop down a tree and get a bunch more of those. So while that's all happening, we're going to grab some more plant fiber, because you can never have enough. We're making the wraps, you can see in the bottom right hand corner. And finally, we're making the hatchet. Gained another level, because you do gain it passively and for all your actions. And we crafted a tool, got another journey step. You can see up in the top left, our experience is just jumping up when we get these milestones. So we're going to start harvesting a tree. You see we get wood, we get branches. You can do the same thing with other tools. And we're going to go ahead and craft this pickaxe here. We're going to grab some more of this. And different types of trees get different stuff sometimes. Like these ones, I think. Oh no, it's the other ones. They might be closer to the beach. They give you like vines, and if you take a pickaxe to a tree, you don't get wood, you get bark instead, which is used for a handful of other things, but will be important nonetheless. Now we're not going to worry about combat at all, and there's some things over there that we could worry about. Now this right here is Aloe, especially the ones with these here, bigger ones. These are very, 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 very important for potent healing while moving. We can craft potions, so like this, craft one of those. You can see things are fighting. I'm not going to get involved because we are not geared up for combat. I don't recommend fighting until you get a few handfuls of levels up. And we're going to go over here so we don't aggro anybody. And we crafted a potion, got another journey step, which means I believe we leveled again. Yep. We are what, level 5? Level 5. Alright, we can toss this scrawled note out, get that out of here. A huge recommendation, instead of this being on custom, I recommend heaviest first. That way you can see what you need to get rid of when you need to get rid of it, and what's really weighing you down. Plus your armor will weigh you down, and the things on your hotbar. So these healing wraps here in my second inventory slot are good at healing you up, but they make you stand in one place. And then the Aloe extract potions, you can move while drinking, but they do slow you down. We're going to come down here, and you can see we have a pickaxe. We can hit this and get lots more stone than if we were to use hand and pick up rocks. Now we're going to go over here to the water, and we're going to press the interact key. We're going to drink. You see that pretty much filled my thirst. Drink a couple times, and our water skin is almost empty. I'm gonna hit the button while still looking into the water, and it's gonna fill that water skin. Now from here you can start doing pretty much all these same things, maybe even beginning to think about messing with them, but I wouldn't, because they're still gonna hit you kind of hard. We haven't covered combat. We'll do that in another one, but that's pretty much it for this beginner super beginner starting thing. We're gonna eat these bugs, fill our hunger, and yeah, that's gonna be that. So ladies and gentlemen, hopefully that's been everything. We're gonna come back to combat and some more survival things later on. I guess before we go, we should talk about, once you have some meat, you're gonna make a campfire. We're gonna learn that right now because that's gonna be very important. And what level are we? 5? Yeah. By the way, going through these is so much better. So much better. And if you want to look at everything, the search bar, you can find what you need specifically if you know what you're looking for, but it also shows you literally everything. But that being said, you can make a campfire. It's now, the box is here, the campfire is here. We can build one of those. It's going to craft, and you can use that to get some food. Once you have it, you can cook it. Twine is used to make various things, such as the bedroll. The bedroll will determine where you spawn, and you can see we don't have any twine, but we have the ability to make some twine. So if I click this, it'll automatically make the twine we need and then craft the whole thing itself. That is a pretty nice feature that they added in the newest update. But a bedroll, you place it down and that'll choose where you respawn, as opposed to respawning back at the default broken highway. You can also do a rawhide bedroll for the same exact purpose. I don't think you can have, in fact I know that you cannot have a fiber bedroll and a rawhide bedroll all at the same time. One will replace the other in the world, the other one will break. These are just harder to get at the very beginning because you don't have hide. Box is where you're going to store all your stuff, find a good place to settle down and start collecting resources like stone and wood, so you can start building a base by going to things like the construction and grabbing this. So now you can see, ignore the flotsam stuff and all that, the salvage, but all the sandstone stuff is the ones you will get, like the foundations and stuff. You craft those up and then you can start placing them down and building a base. But that's pretty much all we're going to cover right now. We'll come back on the next one, maybe talk about combat and how to harvest animals and other things. Before we go, let's go ahead and place our bedroll down. There we go. Beautiful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me. So we're gonna hop out of here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.